Hello, everybody. My name is Pamela Lane, and I am an on again, off again full-time artist, currently on again. And today I am just going to talk about my story as an on again, off again artist. I knew I wanted to be a creator. I would go find clay out on the riverbanks of the Bohemia to make stuff with. I did a lot of beadwork. And at fifth grade, I knew creating was what I was supposed to be doing. That's just what it was. I, however, grew up in a family that was very much conventional. Go to school, get a job, have a career, get married, have some kids, work really, really, really hard to make it work. I went through school and I went through high school and I created as I went, but there was always the struggle of focus. I was supposed to do my homework, but I wanted to go make some pottery. I was supposed to study, but I wanted to be creating some jewelry or walking around in the woods finding things to make wreaths with. But I made it through, and after high school, I went into childcare. I followed a friend in. This was a job that could be a career. It had its fulfilling elements, like I was able to teach and watch children grow, which is awesome. But I only lasted a year at the first place I worked before I needed to move again. I just was feeling stagnant. But I went into childcare again, just at another place. And I worked there for another year. And towards the end of that year, my Aunt Carrie was like, you should really go to school for massage therapy. I had always worked on her shoulder for her, and we made her feel better, at least temporarily. So I did, because the calling for it was a little stronger than teaching. And it was different. It was new. I was feeling stagnant again. I went to school for massage therapy. I ended up graduating from there. I moving in with my boyfriend and his grandmother. His grandmother happened to be an amazing artist. I mean, she was incredible. You could feel the weather in her landscapes. They radiated their own light. Her paintings were incredible. And I had the opportunity to live with her for a year and go out painting with her and pick her brain. It was amazing. And at this time I was working at a spa, and that lasted for a year. I broke up with my boyfriend. My transmission blew up. I moved out of Charlotte's house, back in with my father, and lost my job. I was going through all these things, and as a massage therapist, I was actually unintentionally sending my sadness and my chaos into these people. So everything just blew up. I will be talking about my chaos cycle, and this is the part of the bigger part of my chaos cycle, which I am working on breaking. But anyway, I digress. I moved back in with my father. I start working at another spa that's right down the street because I have no car. But I worked there for a year, picked up a night nanny job also, and was just still kind of back burner creating. All this while I'm back burner creating. It was always a battle. I was going through some hard times again. I ended up losing my job again. And this was the first meager attempt to not work for somebody else, to make my knowledge and my talent and my skills, utilize them for myself by myself. That did not last very long. There are a lot of creeps out there, and massage therapy is not something that is done daily or weekly. So you need quite a few clients to just fill out the time for the income. The part that would appease my conventionally wired brain. It just so happens that my family marina on Bohemia, where I found the clay, they needed someone to work for them. So I was like, well, hi, I'm here. And I grew up there, so I kind of knew what to do. And I did it. And I did it for 7 years. The last 4, I lived in the Love Shack. It was this tiny little cabin that was so cute. It was so cute, and I loved it. Living on the river was hella fun. It was a great lifestyle. Out every day on the water after work in the summer on my kayak. I'd go out and paint. I took up landscape painting. I was living large, but I was broke. However, I was learning I could do anything. I could do anything. I could figure anything out. It might take me a while, but I could figure it out. Because there was a lot to be figured out working on a marina. Towards the end of 7 years, I was hanging out with an artist friend named Jackie and another artist friend named David. And I was doing a lot of painting in my free time. And I'm feeling the connection to the love of creating enhanced by being around other artists. The marina was on a heavily trafficked road, so I set my stuff up and I started making almost my paycheck from the marina, which was not very much. It was minimum wage, 40-hour salary. And I was like, I'm on to something here. If I can just sit here and put these paintings out on the side of the road and people are stopping, people are loving them, people are purchasing them, and I am making almost my paycheck. And I started to feel an itch like I have never felt before. I went out with David one day on my mom's pontoon boat. And I looked at him and I said, if I can paint this landscape in front of us today, and if I can be happy with it, I am going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to become an artist. And I sat down and I finished a landscape that day and I loved it and I still have it. Jackie at that time was looking for a roommate. And she had the cutest little house. It was vibrant and artistic. There was art everywhere. There were art supplies everywhere. It was like, I need this in my life right now. Absolutely, yes, please. But I had lost my steady income. But I had this more overriding itch and confidence behind it. Because I had proven to myself, I can sell these. I can make almost my paycheck just sitting here. You know, I go out and I paint and I love it. That's my dream. And I just sit here and it just sells itself. And I snowballed into commissions and paint parties. It lasted for about a month and a half, steady and strong. I was stone cold broke. I was painting day and night and it was fabulous. But it was exhausting and I started to lose it because the slightest little hiccup in the flow and I was not feeling so steady anymore. That sense of security that comes with a job and a steady paycheck that you know is going to be there, and the fear set in. I started to spin out and I was still getting things, but not as much. Luckily, because there's always that silver lining, and each of these setbacks and these ups and downs are a new learning cycle for me. I pick up something every time. That time, I proved to myself that even though it was this short little amount of time, I did it. I lasted for 3 months before I caved and went looking to work for someone else. I dusted myself off, went ahead. I had met another artist through my sister. Her name was Serena. She had just opened a shop. She needed help. She needed help teaching paint parties. Hi, hello, that's what I've been doing. So I gained a lot of confidence in that. I got to talk to other artists. She needed help around the store, so I picked up hours here and there. And most of the time around the store, I could just chill and create and just keep an eye on the store. That was only for 3 months. And then one of my bestest friends in the universe came to visit her parents from North Carolina to Delaware and stopped by and was like, Martin, her husband, who is in the military, thank you for your service, Martin, is going to be gone a lot. And I could really use some company, some help with the kids. That the help with the kids will cover your rent. I'll help you with your business. And all you need to do is just be able to make enough money to get by on everything else. So I moved to North Carolina to help her with her babies and work on my business and create. Going there knowing nobody, I managed to learn so much about social networking, how to work it. I ended up getting paint parties. I was selling my stuff on an Etsy store that I opened. So Brittany and I would spend hours in the morning like researching how to make all these things work. She was able to start her own business on Etsy. Oh, mine is Why Not Anything Arts, by the way. I'll put it down below. Hers is Gussied Up Gliders. I'll put that down below. We are in this flow. We are learning. I mean, I'm learning about keywords and I'm creating all the time. I was in such a state that I could work until 3 o'clock in the morning and get up with the kids at 6 in the morning and be happy about it. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. I was having some issues with my car, and Brittany's husband was working on it for me when he was home. So I borrowed her car, and I went out to run some errands, and I came back, and my car was burnt up in the middle of the road in front of the house, and there's a fire truck there, and I'm like, I laughed. I was just like, okay. And then I stopped for a second, and I was like, my easels for my paint parties were in the back of my car. Are they okay? And they were okay. And my paintbrushes were okay. I was okay. Luckily, Brittany had a vehicle that she was willing to share with me because she felt bad that her husband blew up my car, but he didn't really blow up my car. Martin, it's not your fault. You did not do it. And I know this. And I appreciate you guys letting me use your car for the remainder of my stay with you. Anyway, 8 months rolls around. I'm missing my family. They're 6 to 10 hours away. And I don't like it. So I rent a minivan, I pack my belongings up, and I go home. And everything that I owned fit into a minivan. And it was mostly paintings. So I moved back in with my dad, and I have no car. And I need to make some money. So it is amazing how the universe opens up and provides. I was coming across friends in parking lots that needed rides, that their parents needed help every week over around the house. Some of my other friends needed their babies watched. Towards the end of this little 6-month stint, I was working for my aunt and uncle at a restaurant washing dishes after whatever odd job I had picked up for that day of the week. I kind of just fell into all these little things. And within a few months, I had been able to buy myself a car. I was able to move out of my dad's house into my friend Wendy's house. She just happened to be looking for another roommate. I was in a flow again. I was arting, and I was able to manipulate my schedule. And I was able to set it all up in a way that I didn't have to force any of the alignment ever. It just happened. I started going to Woodland Beach with my car and had my stuff set up in the back of my car. And I sold some stuff. So I am starting to transition out of these odd jobs that I have and back into my art when they needed me upstairs at the restaurant that I was working at for my aunt and my uncle. One of the servers had quit, so they were like, "You're friendly. You've got this. Go upstairs. We'll get someone else to wash the dishes." And I was like, but I don't want to. Waitressing terrified me. I'm a little scatterbrained. It's something that I do work on, but I wasn't there yet, I didn't think. Turned out I was. And I went on vacation with them for 4th of July weekend. The restaurant had closed. And we all got to go on family vacation. We went with Uncle Jeff and Aunt Carrie also. Went to Chincoteague, had a great weekend. I was making some money as a waitress, so I was pretty flush. I had some money set aside for some bills I needed to pay, and I had money in my pocket left over. So I bought stuff for my friends, I bought stuff for my family, I bought stuff for myself. Ice cream with all the toppings, baby. I was living large. We had a great weekend. It was so much fun. And on the way home, I was riding with Bobby and Harry. We are coming off the bridge of Chincoteague, and I'm looking out in a Happy Days in the back seat, just watching the marsh. And a text message goes off in Bobby's lap. She's sitting in the passenger seat, and she looks at Harry and goes, "Bogey's just closed for good. We don't have a job." And I was stunned. The owners hadn't paid their property taxes, and that was it. We were done. I'm on the way home in full panic mode because while my art had been picking up again, and that was awesome, I was really enjoying feeling flush. I was enjoying this. I had just gotten a place. My dad and my sister helped me get a trailer, and I did not want to lose that. I had more responsibility than ever. I wasn't, so the fear really hit me then. I was on the phone with my sister-in-law. She wasn't at the time, but she is now. She was dating my brother. She worked at a pub, and it was busier than where I was working, and that scared me. I still wasn't that great at it. But I was on the phone with her like, do you guys need any help at the pub? When can I meet with Deanna? I had set up a meeting with Deanna before I even knew what time I was going to get home. I was just like, I think I'll be home by this time. If not, I need to come in today. And I was very much coming from a place of urgency, and I was very scared. And I feel like Deanna smelled that all over me, and she was hesitant to hire me. However, it ended up turning out that she needed someone to cover her shifts, and I said I was available, so I was in, and I waitressed there for a year. I had my place, and I was arting, and then I was transferred over to another restaurant that they leased right around where I grew up on the Bohemia. It was a pay cut, but I still had plenty of money, and then COVID hit. My master bedroom at this time in my trailer is my studio. I don't need that much space to sleep. My studio was chock full of stuff to work on, and I was like, I know this is bad, but I'm happy that you want me to just stay here? You don't expect me to do anything else. I can just chill at home. I'm gonna art my ass off. However, I started looking around my house, which I had not done much with since I moved in, and it wasn't aesthetically pleasing to me at all. So I ended up starting in my bathroom and painting my bathroom and just giving it some touch-ups. I painted down the hall, into the living room, around the kitchen, pulled some stuff out, put some stuff in. Nothing big or major, just all very small little things. Between my savings and my dad helping me a little bit, I got a lot done. And then shutdown was over, and I was like, I'm glad we're getting better, but I was just about to step into my art room, and I went back to work. I was working weekends, and I could feel my soul dying because my art was picking up. I was in a frenzy. I wasn't doing it for anybody else but myself. I took my sketchbook to work. That itch, that itch was back, and I couldn't fight it. And to make it even stronger, I found an partner named Kristen, who I work with currently. We both do different things, but our things run along the same road. And we got together and we started making videos of us going out and creating in our studios, talking about like things that we had noticed, and really just artying hard. I mean, real hard. So we both ended up getting sick, a little different, sort of the same. We stopped filming and we were still arting and we were going to festivals and setting up, but the flow had lost its edge and it was just spiraling out. It was getting worse and worse. We were getting sicker and we were getting sicker, and all the synchronicities weren't lining up anymore. I don't know how dark Kristen went, but I went to a really dark place because I went so high and fell so far. And it really, that time it hurt. I was used to the roller coaster. I am used to the roller coaster, but that time it was just like I had no idea what to do next. That was becoming rarer for me. I was getting much better at just allowing things to happen and jumping on the opportunities as they came and allowing those opportunities to work for me. I couldn't figure out how to hold on to the intangible. And I went real dark. It was a chaos cycle. I spent a lot of time listening at this point. Listening to people that were talking about good mindsets, listening to people about how to get yourself back in alignment. I started listening and I found a few that really resonated with me. You know, and there's people that I like to listen to when I'm feeling a little more this way or a little more that way based on their tone and their gestures and just their overall demeanor. And 2 weeks ago, my friend put on one of her favorites, who's actually become one of my favorites now. And he goes, when you don't know what to do, do nothing. And I was like, I'm exactly at I don't know what to do. How do I do nothing? And he even spoke about the fact that that's not what I was trained to do. And that thought felt very wrong to me. You got to do something. But he was like, it's going to feel weird. Just do nothing. So another week goes by, and I'm trying to do nothing, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. And a friend invites me over for fish tacos. I take some ingredients over, and I wasn't feeling very talkative. So while he was cooking, it was kind of quiet, and there was a show on, and I was doing nothing. Couldn't even get onto my phone because the service was dead. I was doing nothing. And I remember driving home, and my muscles started spasming and twitching, and I started downloading like I've never downloaded before, and it was me talking about all kinds of different things and putting them out there like I am. Hopefully this will be the one. I've done this a few times. And I knew what I needed to do. I am forcing my way out of a chaos cycle right now. And I need to, this is the thing that I need to do. So I was like, I'm going to film when I get home. I'm not going to worry about what I look like. No one's ever going to see it. I'm just going to do it. And then I walked in and realized that the physical part of my chaos cycle was sprawled across my house. And every time I clean up from a chaos cycle, I remember the quote, if you want to change the world, clean your room. And I didn't even want to change the world. I wanted to change my world. So I was like, you know what? I think the first thing I need to do is clean my room. So I didn't get the scrub brushes out. I just organized everything. It was more just a tornado of things. The tornado had just dropped things wherever randomly. I'm the tornado. I cleaned my room. I went to bed. I was exhausted. I woke up the next morning and I was like, I'm gonna do that video. But I really didn't want to do that video. So went into my studio and I was like, I'm gonna work on stuff in my studio today. That's what my today's mission is. And I started to get this headache. It was like the universe was like, you will not ignore me anymore. And I was like, well, I'm going to run some errands and I'm going to go to Kristen's and see what she's doing and maybe work with her. That's what I'm going to do. And I get to Kristen's and I'm talking to her about the download and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, but I do know what to do, but I don't want to do it. There it is. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And the more I said this and the more I thought this, my headache intensified and I drank a lot of water. I tried some black coffee. I don't do aspirin or Aleve or anything. And this headache was just not going away. And I was like, Kristen, we were going to work together today on the porch, but I think I just need to go and find a spot to sit and start recording. Ended up out here at Port Mahon, where I'm at now, again. And as soon as I hit record, my headache was gone. And I was like, I knew what to do, but... So I started talking, and I just talked, and I kept it in a good flow, and it was congruent, but it was a lot. And I was like, okay, I know no one's ever going to see this one. I still took the time to get ready and, did my makeup and stuff, but I knew no one was ever going to see it. I was like, I'm going to at least make one more. This is the fourth one. The last one was good. It just ended up being a lot longer. I know that the reason I'm supposed to be doing this is because a lot of people right now are finding themselves in this transition. So that is my story as an on-again, off-again artist as so far. And I hope that if you have watched this, it has given you inspiration and encouragement to do what you really want to do, despite everything else saying no, or the feeling of resistance or insecurity. And yeah, just be the wonderful creator that you are. Have a wonderful day, and I will be seeing you later. Bye.